Hello, AC Keeble here, or Shy as everyone knows me. This post is going to be done in video forms so that I can experiment with doing video posts for my blog for the next 3 months. One of the reasons I'm doing this is because my keyboard is knackered and, well, maybe I thought it was time to experiment with video making. What I want to talk to you today is about the advocacy that I do as an autistic conservative and the work I do to promote the reasons for accepting neurodiversity, self-determination of neurodiversity and the civil rights of autistic people. Those of you who have followed my blog for years will know that I've written a self-published book called A Puzzle in a Tunnel, which is about my advocacy work, or rather the case for self-determination of autistics and what makes them such special creatures of amazing intellectual abilities that we should accommodate for them in this world. Now, the vast majority of disability activists out there campaign from a leftist point of view. But in doing so, they portray them as pity pathetic creatures that live in hopeless and vulnerable situations. Well, not all disabled people are like that, and we need to break that stereotype. I myself am high functioning autistic. I'm on the on the autistic spectrum, I'm Aspergic. My condition was named from an Austrian paediatrician who in 1943 called the type of autistic spectrum disorder that his patients had Asperger's syndrome. He had a saying which went like this: for success in science and art, a dash of autism is essential. And from that, it has shown from all different types of autistics throughout the world and throughout history who have displayed remarkable abilities through science, art, politics, music, and even, from civil rights advocacy. One of my most favouriteest scientists, who was also autistic, very nearly became both a scientist and a politician, and that was Albert Einstein. In 1952, the US ambassador to Israel asked if Einstein would be interested in running for president, which would have made him the first scientific head of state of Israel, and it would have been interesting to see what kind of country he could have led as someone with a big scientific mind. Autistics have a lot of potential and gifts to give to this world. There are many advantages to their autistic brain that they can bring that they use in creative ways. They are hyper-focused, they have good, they lack social skills, and in my case, sometimes I tend to struggle to elaborate when speaking publicly, but they are very good in the fields of work that they do. One example, in an artistic way, is the painter Pablo Picasso. He rejected old-fashioned ways of painting and decided to find his own voice. He was instrumental in creating a style of art known as Cubism, where lifelike objects were created into cubic-like shapes. It's shown in many of his masterpieces, and he had become one of the most famous painters of our time. So, for a scientific and an artistic field, the ability to show the abilities of autism show that we can transform our heightened intelligence into amazing creations that can change the world we live in. Earlier this month, I wrote a piece for the Havering Daily on Greta Thunberg, another famous autistic who gave an impassioned speech to the United Nations about climate change. Greta and I are both autistic, but we're at polar opposites of the political spectrum. And although I praise her as an autistic advocate, an actual autistic advocate, and I aspire to be, a campaigner for change in autistic spectrum, in acceptance of autism with self-determination, this neurodiversity. The way in which she gave her speech was very, very powerful, but the way in which she advocates for climate change isn't the way in which I would do it. For one thing, now I myself support climate science. In fact, I'm studying Earth and Environmental Sciences, and I currently work for a company called Africa House London, and I'm using my knowledge of Earth science to create and sell water technology solutions between Britain and African countries. Which is great for me because, having taken this job, I can use my intelligence to show how incredibly creative I am and show the world the bright light of intelligence, of what autistic people can achieve in life. Now, Greta might advocate for environmental activism, calling on governments to make changes, but government is the problem for us, for the way we live, and not the solutions. Because you know why? Well, they don't have the scientists, and they don't have the technology needed for us to live a green lifestyle. In the years that I have studied climate science, I've found many great, fantastic and creative innovations. And what the climate activists are not doing is that they are not going out and saying, this scientist has invented something, you must replace petrol cars with the fuel that he has invented to make the world a lot more greener and secure an eco-friendly future on the motorways. Neurodiversity accepts people from all walks of life, and conservatism does as well. The party that I have worked for the last 4 years as an activist has granted me a platform to share many of my views on building solutions and innovation, not through government targets, but sharing with them ideas on technology solutions. The left would just shout down and drown out the creative abilities of neurodiversity, and say, well, just shout and shout and shout. I, however, want to make and build a better world. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but I went to a climate change protest about when they were on the school strike day, and I saw some Palestinian flags waving around and a man wearing a Free Gaza t-shirt. Now, Israel is a country that happens to have invented many water technologies and climate change solutions since the 1930s. And one of these is drip irrigation technology, which allows plants to be grown with just a small quantity of water. The man who invented this, Simon Blass, discovered it by accident, and in doing so, he helped Israel transform from a desert nation into a lush and fertile green land that had far more water than it could ever have had in the past, and they've even been able to grow billions of dollars worth of produce. Not bad for a country that is, well, small but has big dreams. Let's see. I'm having to look through my prompter here to give me some idea of where to carry on speaking. Oh yes, a wonderful example of showing the usefulness of autistic people in this world is to show the beauty of creations and how the world can benefit from it. Us autistics are people with beautiful minds, not tragic souls with no purpose. Some people in the media portray Greta as a frightened, hysterical child. Well, in a sense, she is doing it as such, but she what I would like to see more of coming from actual autistic people, such as myself, is showing people well, how to do it in a more positive and proactive way, not a hysterical, ranting way. Right, okay, and now I suppose you would probably like to find out more about a lot of other ideas that autistic people can give to this world. Well, for those of you who want to learn more, feel free to buy my book. It's available signed from my website, acckeyboard.co.uk, and you can buy it directly from Amazon and on your Kindle or in paperback. Feel free to support my page. The link is down below on PayPal, and I'll look forward to seeing you again next month and see how this video is received.